Right, good morning, welcome back. Now, having just fitted the Tech Flank exhaust to the big Triumph Scrambler, I think a great accompaniment for it is to also fit the DNA permanent washable filter in place of the disposable paper one that the factory fits. One single tool needed for the job, T15 Torx driver. Right, access to your air filter is under your left-hand side panel and it's mounted to the bike in the traditional way with the little plastic posts that push through the rubber bungs, so it just lifts off. The three connection points are one at the front top, one at the rear top and one at the bottom. But as you can see, this shroud is very close to the paintwork and it is easy to scratch it. So do that one last, lift the bottom one, then lift the rear one, and then carefully with your finger to protect it, lift the front one off and backwards and you won't scratch your paint. Well, it looks a bit complicated under there, but it's nothing to be intimidated by. It's the usual stuff you see under the seat of a bike. You've got your general fuse box, the main fuse, the diagnostic plug the dealer uses, and a host of relays. What we need to do is just lift all that out of the way, unhook some of it, take the silver screws out, lift it all down out of the way, then we get access to the filter that lives underneath. Well, as you can see, it's a bit of a faff, but it's just a carrier plate and everything's wired so that it just slots straight back on afterwards. There's a place for everything and everything in its place. It's not difficult, bit of a faff, but don't be daunted by it. Put it to one side. Now, clear access to the filter. Right, the 4 black Torx screws. Out the way first. And just grab the plate and lift it straight out the airbox, like that. There it is. Right, to fit the filter could not be easier. It comes pre-oiled and ready to fit and sealed in plastic. Break the seal, slide it out, and to fit it, simply drop out the old one and fit the new one. It is as easy as that. Okay, as easy as that. Now it's ready to just slot straight back into the airbox like that. But before you do, take a look down inside and you'll see there's a couple of plastic molded steps on the back wall on that side of the air filter box, and that's to locate these corners of the filter. So make sure that when you slot it in, you keep it absolutely square and that this plate goes in all the way up to the foam seal and sits dead square and flush, because if it's mislocated in some way, it will leak around this seal and cause problems. Right, now you've got that in place, time to tidy up your wiring, and it is a little bit of a faff, so we'll do that on time lapse. Right, that just leaves one more job, and that is to run the engine for 15 minutes and let the ECU learn the new flow rate. These DNA filters flow something like 40% more CFM compared to the paper filter, according to the data on their website. Now that's a lot more. Imagine taking out a really dirty paper filter and putting in a brand new clean one. You're going to get a sudden increase in airflow rate. So the ECU needs a chance to learn that. And the method's ever so easy. You fire up the engine from stone cold, preferably leave it overnight before you do this, and then let it run for 15 minutes. And all the sensors will work out exactly what the new fuel mixture needs to be, and it will set it all up perfectly fine. But one very important piece of information from tech is the rubber snorkel. On the earlier bikes, you can take the rubber snorkel out of the airbox. You get a lovely Rorty induction sound, and of course a little bit more power if you put the booster plug. But on the Euro 5, you're a little bit restricted. You can't fit the booster plug, they don't work, and the rubber snorkel must stay in place. I will repeat that. On a Euro 5, please leave the rubber snorkel on your airbox alone. Don't take it out because it will run lean. So that's it. Let's run it up, and then I've got one more thing to say at the end. Right, I'll leave you with this thought. A double-sided debate about washable versus paper filters. I hear the people talk about paper filters, that they filter better, that the paper is a better filtration medium than 4 layers of washable cotton. Well, I kind of agree with that. It probably is. That's why the factory chooses it. It's a better filter. It filters those microscopic particles when it's clean. But the minute you get that filthy, it's a scrambler. The minute that gets wet, and you get water, you're wading your bike through rivers. If a paper filter gets wet, it turns into mush, and that's no good for anything. So a washable filter that can be rinsed through, cleaned and re-oiled is the better argument. So there's the reason that I choose to fit washable filters, in fact, to all of our bikes, because it's environmentally friendly. I don't care what the power gains are, and I don't care what the fuel economy gains are. I just can't face service after service putting these things into landfill. To me, that's all wrong. Anyway, I'll leave you with that debate in the comments. Thank you for watching. Take it easy, ride safe. I'll see you next time.